let's take this idea and make it palatable to the Western world.
We like to try to make it more culturally appropriate for our players.
Honestly, sometimes I'm ashamed to be from the West. I promise we're not all this dense. Welcome back to Otaku Daikun. This video is probably equal parts discussion and rant. Sadly, I've got to start it off with bad news. Just a little over a week after I released my video advocating why cons should not ban Ahegao clothing, one of my local cons decided to do just that. For all the people celebrating, get over yourself. Like seriously, there are people going, "Hooray, the cringe is banned!" Serves them right. Or damn, that's how I used to identify people to stay away from. That's unbelievably insulting, and you should be ashamed. The idea that people who wear Ahegao clothing are inherently creepers is a wretched stereotype that I see being perpetuated by Puritans who act like they're morally superior. These people hold our community back, and they can be hard to identify from their seemingly friendly personas, when deep down they're just as malicious as the creepers they refer to. If you think these bans are outrageous, if you're sick of the hatred aimed at fan service, or people who simply love an art form and want the right to express it, then please contact me here on YouTube, Twitter, or even my Discord. I want to organize a charity stream that uses lewd anime content to prove that awful stigma wrong, and I'll need all the help I can get. Just like Uzaki-chan can inspire the Japanese to donate blood in support of something they love, we can show the world that this raunchy anime and the fans thereof are wonderful people who truly want to help the world in a non-oppressive way. I plan to call it Waifu for Laifu. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and you can help by offering any advice, connections, or simply spreading the word. I'd love to collaborate with others if that helps. Sorry for the lengthy tangent, but I do feel it's relevant to the topic of this video. One of the reasons anime fans are demonized, that our media is censored and our expression inhibited, is because we're misunderstood. Clearly there are people out there that just don't get it, and Western companies are as ignorant as they come. Case in point, there's this lovely product called the Gatebox in Japan. It's a hologram AI companion, an adorable and supportive anime girl whom people can interact with on a deeper level than something like Siri, Alexa, or Google can hope to achieve. It's an invention that would inevitably come out of Japan, and I fully support it, even though at this point it's way too expensive for most of us to afford. Unfortunately, it seems some Western companies have noticed this product's success in Japan and want to bring it across the sea. At least they have enough brains to recognize it. Problem is, these brains are so small that the entire point gets lost mid-thought. They're all like, if we want to bring this to America, we've got to make it appealing to Americans. It's as if they never even considered dubbing the anime girl and releasing her as an English version. No, instead, this is what the company plans to release. Cheap knockoffs that look like depressed models from The Sims. They're ugly as hell, and ruin the entire premise of an adorable virtual companion. The guy introducing these abominations is pretty condescending too, expressing that only the Japanese would want an anime girl as their AI, that it's weird and the market won't understand the appeal.
This tube with a virtual girl inside it is weird. In this moment, in this place, in this country, yeah, it's a bit unusual. But it does have more significant appeal in Japan where this aesthetic is widely appreciated.
What makes this infuriating to me is that if these uncanny capsules wind up flopping, then companies are going to assume nobody wants a virtual companion, completely missing the reason why nobody wanted it. It's why people keep saying anime is a niche fandom. That goes against why I made this channel, to help spread a worldwide appreciation for anime. For that to work though, people need to experience anime in its pure form. The appeal is always there, and all companies need to do is overcome the language barrier and actually market it without censorship or pandering to fake demographics. People keep thinking anime's weird, and it's our job as a community to normalize these aspects and prove they're wrong when they deem it problematic. It's a tough battle though. The West seems to have a supreme knack for creating ugly, uncanny content. I'll be mentioning some things that I can't stand about the West, and I don't want you taking it personally if you happen to like what I reference. Just know that when anime is all about youthful vitality and aesthetic beauty, it's no surprise many Western fans find themselves turned off to their own domestic media. While it's been memed to death, I need to bring up the atrocious Sonic movie. I'm sure you've already seen both the original and revised versions of the trailer. From the get-go and even now, the whole thing is a big screw you to Sonic's fans, with creators insisting their vision is better than what's remained solid for decades. We can't have Sonic looking like a cartoon on screen. He's gotta be realistic. He's gotta have fur on his hands and freaky human dentures. Why's he got one big conjoined eye? I think that's weird, and I'm gonna change it. If these people spent even a millisecond actually researching Sonic, they'd know he's been depicted in multiple games and shows, interacting with humans just fine as he is. And no, I'm not talking about when a girl kissed him. I'm talking about the adventure games, Sonic X, and going further back, the promotional animations included with the Sega Saturn fan disc Sonic Jam. Even in the revised trailer, I still don't see why Sonic can't just fit the design he's had for years. Like, what stubborn stick up your ass is making you insist that Sonic's arms need to be blue? More insulting to me was the music. Gangster's Paradise? I grew up on Sonic, and not once have I ever wanted to subject my ears to such torment. No, I grew up on the amazing tracks produced by Brad Buxer and Jun Senoue. Seriously, Jun is still making slapping Sonic songs console generations later. I'm sure he'd be up to the task of producing a kick-ass trailer theme. And sure, while rap was as far from Sonic's appeal as possible, Blitzkrieg pop is still completely unwarranted. Let's go. I took a blending iron to my tongue. Just how out of touch can someone be? I feel like these people are from a different planet. Like when I see gold, they see shit. This bizarre sense of aesthetic is prevalent in tons of Western properties. I can't recall the last time I played a video game made outside Japan that didn't dive into the uncanny valley with grotesque character models. Without mods, it's impossible to make a character in Skyrim that doesn't look like a wilted raisin man. The faces in Mass Effect Andromeda are so nightmarish, people accused BioWare of making them ugly on purpose to subvert the male gaze. Even when characters are supposed to look appealing, they miss their mark. I'll admit Sims games have come a long way in terms of graphics, but of course they have to look too comedically goofy even at their best. The girls in Duke Nukem Forever are supposed to be attractive, but they look almost as alien as the monsters that capture them. Even if they use a gorgeous model as a reference for a character, designers will go for a gritty, intimidating aesthetic that intentionally serves to mask that beauty.
Disgusting!
Hellblade looks like a phenomenal game, and props to you if you enjoy it, but I will always be deterred by all the war paint, unflattering scowls, and creepy teeth. Give me a game with action like that, put Tecmo Koei behind the character designs, and I'll be sold for life. Is it a crime to make men and women pretty in video games? Seems that way. In a game like Code Vein, it is nigh impossible to make a character that doesn't look amazing. And of course, woke Western journalists complained. If we sink to the deepest depths of horror, we'll find a wretched excuse for animation called Big Mouth, which apparently intentionally features foul-looking characters so they can cover topics of puberty without making it appealing because they're minors. Honestly, I couldn't care less how noble that might sound. Who in their right mind wants to look at that? I'd feel more comfortable as the target for a literal pissing contest at a senior center. Aside from shows like One Piece, anime has been the pinnacle of beauty since before I was born. I didn't even know what anime was, and I had fallen for its visual aesthetic. I'd wake up super early to watch Sailor Moon on TV, rolling my eyes at all the American cartoons that only ever served as comedy fodder. The only good cartoons we have now are basically inspired by anime to begin with. Sadly, it's gotten even worse. Arguably, anime has gotten even more detailed and gorgeous with the advent of newer technology. But America's traditional animation has sunk into the gutter. A show like Thundercats Roar is the perfect example. Designs have gotten simpler, cheaper, uglier, and lazier. Forget being on model, these blobs don't even have a model. Perspective, anatomy, ambition, all tossed out the window for the sake of the masses. Take that and compare it to Makoto Shinkai's latest masterpiece, Weathering with You, where thousands of droplets of rain are hand-animated, each one with multiple layers of shading and dynamic ripples as they collide with puddles and trickle down umbrellas. This is beauty, and if you don't think this deserves more than a limited-run screening at select theaters the world over, then you're part of the problem. Though, if you've watched this far, I'm sure you agree. I apologize for this video being such a downer, but it really sucks not having any say in how these works of art are handled. Rich corporations think these works are malleable, that they can take something beloved and mangle it thinking they can reach a larger audience. We don't want that. We want what Japan is having, and all they need to do is translate the words faithfully and make it available to us. Many of us fans found anime as an escape from the Western cultural elements that make us uncomfortable. We need to normalize the things people are attacking, and I feel the key is to prove them wrong. Imagine Loli fans raising thousands of dollars for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, proving that drawings are abstract fantasies that don't reflect reality. Imagine playing JRPGs to raise funds for wildlife preservations. Imagine using those oh-so-problematic Ahegao shirts as prizes or a symbol for fighting the battle against cancer. Any false label thrown at us can be paid forward as a genuine act of kindness. If you believe in that cause, I implore you to spread the word and help me out. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this channel, help me beat the algorithm by liking, commenting, and sharing the video, subscribing to Otaku Daikun, and most of all, smashing that notification bell as if it were your waifu. That way you'll never miss out on all of my anime content, lore videos, live streams, and Holy Waifu Wars polls. My vids are struggling to get featured, so that bell is absolutely critical. If you want to support me directly, check out my Patreon, or consider donating via Super Chat. And as always, celebrate your fandom.